Hi, welcome to yet another tutorial of ours, and I hope you enjoyed all our videos we've been posting. Please do not forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell. So today we are going to be making this mini skirt. It's a tennis court skirt, but you can wear it however you want to wear it, and I will be posting ways on how to wear this skirt. So stay tuned and we will start the tutorial right now. I've gone ahead to cut out my upper parts. I did 9 inches because we are going to be using half inch for the sewing, half inch for the upper sewing allowance, and half inch for the lower sewing allowance. So my hip is 40 divided by 4. It's going to be giving us 10 inches, but I cut plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. That's why it is like this. So now we're going to go on to measure. My waist is 30 inches divided by 4 is going to give us 7.5 plus 1 inch for the sewing allowance. And then I'm going to go down, taking out my half inch, and then for my waist to my hip, is 8.5. So we're going to be taking out our hip measurement here, and my hip measurement is going to be 10 inches plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. Remember that we added half inch for the sewing allowance here, and now we're going to connect. So right at the middle here, we're going to take out half inch from the skirt part, and then we're going to connect this way. Going to connect this way. Now right now I'm going to go ahead to cut out this pattern. So now we're done with this part, and now we're going to be cutting out the facing of this skirt. So for the facing, I'm going to cut out 2.5 inches for the length of the facing, and then for this I'm going to fold this into 4. Remember, this is how we're going to cut our facing. We're going to cut it accordingly, the way we cut out the other pattern. We'll go to the next step, and now we're going to go into the machine to sew one side 1 inch for the, remember the sewing allowance that we took. We're going to sew in 1 inch here, and also for this place we're going to be sewing in 1 inch here. So I'm back from the sewing machine. I stitched the two parts, but I'm going to loosen one and then leave 1 inch, because that's where our zip is going to stop. I'm going to leave it 1 inch. This is where our zip is going to stop, and I'm going to lose this place because I want to iron this part and iron this part so I can be able to see where to zip in. And I'm going to iron this part, and I'll be back after ironing. So now I'm back from ironing, and I've loosened the part where we are going to look. So I'm going to top stitch this part now, and you can see we have the zip line already. So for the next step, we're going to be sewing our facing by half an inch round. Now that I'm done ironing, I'm going to have to top stitch. I'm going to go ahead to top stitch this part and then iron it again. For the next part, we are going to be cutting the down part of the skirt. So for my own full length of the skirt, I did 18 inches. You can do lower or you can make it more, but for me I'm going to be doing 18 inches, and I already took out 8 inches from the upper part. So this is 11 inches. I'm going to be using 1 inch for the hemming allowance, and then I'm going to be using half inch for the upper sewing allowance. So now we are going to be pleating it. We are going to be pleating this, and then for the length of this pleats, we're taking your hips times 3. We were to be starting it from the waist, we are taking our waist times 3, but this we're taking our hips times 3. That's 40 times 3, and this is what I cut out. Now for the pleating, we are going to start pleating. For this, we are doing box pleating. We're doing box pleating for this, and I'm going to teach you how to do it here before I sew it to my garments. So remember, we're taking out 1 inch for we're taking out 1 inch for our sewing allowance, and then this is how I'm going to measure out our pleating. So the next step now is to sew in our 1 inch and go ahead and weave it and then iron. So we're done with that. Now we're going to the next step. We're going to be adding this zip to this skirt part. So now I'm done with the zip. Now the next thing we're going to do now is I'm going to sew through all this place I put my pin, because I don't want it to lose when I'm sewing it to this upper part. So now I'm going to sew it, and when I sew it, I'm going to place it like this. Okay, we are looking for the place we stitch together. Okay, this is it. So we are going to stitch it this way, half inch, and we're going to stitch it all around, and I'm going to overlock it, and I'll be back with the final results. Now that we are done with the sewing, you can see how fine it is. I'm going to go ahead now and stitch these two places together, and then we're going to be stitching the hem line. And after I'm done, I'm going to be ironing this. And now guys, this is the final result of our skirt. I'm going to go in to wash it now. You can see how beautiful this skirt came out. I hope you understand, and I hope you learned what I taught. And please do not forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell, and we have more tutorial coming up. Thank you. Bye. See you all in the next tutorial. Bye bye.